One Zambia, One Nation. Thank you so much for joining us on the news desk. This is Zanis News with me, Amos Zulu. Let us take a look at the top stories. President Hakainde Hichilema attends AU Summit. Luampa projects cheer Western Province administration. Government pays 467 million to pensioners. And now the news in detail. The 36th Ordinary Session of the African Union, AU, has officially opened in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, with a call for Africa to rise and solve its problems to achieve its developmental agenda. President Hakainde Hichilema is among leaders of the 55 member states of the African Union, AU, participating at the high-level assembly. Mwangala Kapandula reports that the assembly also recognized the role that the forefathers played, including first Zambian President Kenneth Kaunda.
It is an extraordinary year for the African Union as it is celebrating 60 years since it was birthed as the Organization of African Unity, OAU, and is also celebrating 20 years of its transition from the OAU to the African Union. Heads of state and governments have convened here in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, to deliberate on a number of issues, which include climate change, food security, peace and security.
Over the past 3 years, global economic growth has lost its momentum and we have ever-increasing inflation rates. With the election whims, the need to reform the world governance will prevail with reason that with the exclusion of Africa from the circle of the permanent members of the Security Council is not the least of injustices that we suffer.
I stressed the need for Africa to tell her own story and not allow others to tell it in the service of their own interest. In this respect, please allow me to reiterate yet again the need to establish an African Union Continental Media House.
The upcoming Transboundary Battery and Electric Vehicle Value Chain Initiative, hosted by DRC and Zambia, is a good example. But all these efforts must be matched by a tidal wave of support from developed countries.
President Hakainde Hichilema is among the 55 member states that have gathered in the capital, Addis Ababa. Mwangala Kapandula for Zanis News in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia.
Still in Addis Ababa, the governments of Zambia and the Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC, have met to discuss the challenges being experienced on the borderline with regards to the movement of cargo between the two countries. Minister of Commerce, Trade and Industry Chipoka Mulenga met with his Congolese counterpart, Jean-Lucien Bussa, in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, on the sidelines of the 36th African Union, AU, and agreed to resolve the congestion of over 2,000 trucks laden with cargo that are marooned at Kasumbalesa border.
Zambian and neighboring Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC governments have agreed to resolve the challenge of movement of cargo into that country. The two governments met yesterday during a bilateral engagement in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, on the sidelines of the 36th Ordinary Session of the African Union Summit, and discussed a number of issues regarding trade and business on the borderline between the two countries. Minister of Commerce, Trade and Industry Chipoka Mulenga, who met with his Congolese counterpart, Minister of Commerce and Exterior, Jean-Lucien Bussa, is concerned with the long queues of trucks laden with cargo on the Zambian side failing to cross over into that country due to custom delays. Mr. Mulenga called for the need to find a lasting solution to the problem as more than 2,000 trucks are marooned on a stretch of about 40 kilometers.
Side to Chambishi. But so I engaged my dear brother here from the DRC, my counterparts, to see how we can resolve this challenge once and for all. And the DRC side has raised a lot of concerns which are very important. Zambia needs to improve on its infrastructure. We need to improve our truck stop. DRC has got a truck stop of 1,800, while Zambia has got a truck stop of about 400 to 500, which is an imbalance. And Zambian side, our government, we have committed to say, immediately after the rainy season, infrastructure development on the Kasumbalesa, Chingola roadways is what we are going to do. We put a dual carriageway from Mambo all the way into Kasumbelesa as we improve the road infrastructure, also the tracking stop.
And Congolese Minister of Commerce and Exterior Jean-Lucien Bussa, who spoke through an interpreter, said the challenge has been caused by, among other issues, a ghost law by custom officers in DRC.
On the side of Zambia, the park for the truck has one capacity of 400 trucks.
Et puis, c'est pour l'import et l'export.
For importation and exportation.
Tandis qu'au niveau de la FDC, on a une capacité de 1800 trucks.
In their side, they have a capacity of 1,800.
For Zanis News, Mangalaka Pandula reporting in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia.
Western Province Permanent Secretary Simomo Akapelwa is impressed that construction of some projects in Luampa district have advanced. Mr. Akapelwa, however, says there is need to review contracts for projects that have been abandoned. Here's a report.
Luampa district is among the new districts in Western Province whose construction of major projects have taken long to be completed. Nevertheless, a check at the construction site by Western Province Permanent Secretary Simomo Akapelwa revealed that most works have advanced, a situation that has impressed the Permanent Secretary.
Luampa is a mixed bag, I would say, compared to the other new bombers, in that the civic center is operational, at least that one plus. The houses for the medium, for the management staff, those ones are almost complete, and the plus is that there's the contractor is on site and is working.
Mr. Kapelwa, however, called for a review of some abandoned projects.
The district administration, as you see, is way behind. This definitely calls for a review of the contract, if any decision is to be made.
And Luampa District Works Supervisor James Munenga disclosed the status of the projects.
We have the 10 medium coast houses which are being done by tandem triattack. The project is at 75% and the contractor is on site. Then we have the 20 low medium coast houses which are being done by Triple V Property Company, and the contract or the project is at 50%.
The Permanent Secretary, who was accompanied by the Acting Deputy Permanent Secretary Richard Mulwanda and other senior officials, also toured the construction of the police station and the District Administration Center, among others. Sifwe Mwangala, Zanis News, Western Province.
Chambishi Water Supply and Sanitation Company has set the end of March 2023 as the completion date for small town integrated water supply and sanitation program in Kasama and Mbala districts. Company Director of Technical Services Jose Chimanika explains that the works in Mbala have been completed, while the progress in Kasama stands at about 96%. Geoffrey Piri gives us the details.
Government, with support from the African Development Bank, is implementing the Small Towns Water and Sanitation Project in Mbala and Kasama districts at a cost of $27 million. The project, which started in 2020, has reached an advanced stage and is now set for completion next month.
All the works in Mbala are 100% complete. They are all done. In Kasama, in terms of work progress, we are at 96%, so there's a 4% that is yet to be completed. And we are anticipating that by 31st of March this year, our project will be completed.
Company Director of Technical Services Jose Chamanika disclosed at an engagement meeting in Kasama that the completion and commissioning of the project will see the commercial utility connect over 17,000 new customers and provide 24-hour water supply to clients in Kasama.
We are going to increase water production from 14,400 cubics a day to 24,000 cubics a day, and this will help us to actually meet the demand in terms of water supply to Kasama.
And with an outbreak of cholera in other parts of the country, Chambeshi, which supplies water and sanitation services to northern and Muchinga provinces, has moved in to assure its customers of quality water supply.
Our district managers and all our areas of operation, we've actually put a higher alert on our people to ensure that we are dosing, that we are regularly monitoring the water quality that we are churning out to our customers.
Lukupa Ward Councillor Elias Musonda, who attended the meeting, promised to support the company in helping sensitize people to connect to its network.
We're here to help you on this road, on this journey, because we know what it means. Zambia will never be the same. We have the MDGs, which are talking by 2030.
Geoffrey Piri, reporting for Zanis in Kasama district.
We continue with the news. Government has paid out 467 million kwacha to 13,576 pensioners under the Zambia National Provident Fund, ZNPF, since December 2022. Minister of Labour and Social Security Brenda Tambatamba says government is targeting to pay out 5.4 billion kwacha to 150,000 claimants. Speaking in Lusaka at the National Kaizen Conference, Ms. Tambatamba said the move will contribute to Zambia's economy. The minister said the move presents an opportunity availed by government to Zambians to engage into productive economic activities that will improve their livelihoods. Speaking at the same event, Zambia Federation of Employers ZFE President Myra Ngoma commended government for its efforts in attracting investment in various sectors that include mining, tourism and agriculture, saying this will create the much-needed jobs for Zambians. And Zambia Congress for Trade Unions ZCTU Deputy Secretary General Catherine Choba said there is need for a change in a misconception that the labor movement is only interested in fighting for increased salaries, and stressed that productivity is high on the agenda of trade unions.
13,576 claims have been made in this amount of 467 million kwacha. That has gone into our economy. That has gone to hopefully be invested into various businesses, small scale, to begin to contribute to our economy, and what an opportunity for those that have received.
As private sector players, we appreciate the commitment the government has announced, such as its role to design and implement, together with its partners, policies to attract and secure investments in sectors such as agriculture, mining, tourism, and manufacturing.
Sometimes employers have a misconception of thinking that workers' organizations are only interested in higher salaries and nothing to do with issues of productivity and timely delivery of goods and services. This is why the theme for this conference, Working Together Towards Better Quality, Lower and Timely Delivery of Goods and Services, is a call to all of us as workers.
Now, Minister of Home Affairs Jack Mwimbu has implored officers under his ministry to be professional and remain disciplined as they execute their duties. Mr. Mwimbu observes that there has been lack of professionalism among security wings in the recent past, leading to the public losing confidence in men and women in uniform. The minister was speaking when he met officers in Kabwe during his familiarization tour of selected districts in the province. Here are the details.
Minister of Home Affairs and Internal Security, Jack Mwimbu, has implored officers under his ministry to be professional and disciplined as they execute their duties to the public. Mr. Mwimbu observes that there has been lack of professionalism among officers in his ministry in the recent past, leading to the public losing confidence in the men and women in uniforms. He said this when he met officers from the security wings under his ministry, which includes Zambia Police, Immigration, among other departments, in Kabwe district as part of his familiarization tour of Central Province.
I expect you to be professional as you deal with members of the public. You have to realize that members of the public have human rights. And those human rights are supposed to be protected by you. And you know the boundaries. You know the red line. You deal with them, make sure that we behave professionally.
And Central Province Police Commissioner David Mukuka is excited with the minister's visit to the province.
Very grateful and elated that the Minister of Home Affairs and Internal Security had to take time to come and visit our province. Amongst the issues that were discussed with the Minister were issues and challenges of transport, to which the Minister responded that about 156 vehicles have been procured, and they will be within our reach within the next 2 to 3 months. And on top of that, the Minister has also assured us that the new establishment for the police that has come out has increased our strength.
Meanwhile, Central Province Drug Enforcement Regional Commander Malimba Kanyanga has disclosed that the Commission is worried with an increase in drug abuse in some parts of Kabwe district.
As Drug Enforcement Commission, we have noticed an increase in, apart from cannabis, we're also having heroin, which is becoming a problem, especially in places like Makululu and Katondo. But we are not sitting idly. We are doing everything that we can to arrest the situation.
For Zanis in Kabwe Central Province, I am Febuary.
And Mr. Mambo is delighted with the Zambia Correctional Services ZCS for its dedication to farming to ensure food security is enhanced in the country. Mr. Mambo encouraged the ZCS command to concentrate on growing maize seed, which he described to be more lucrative than selling ordinary maize. The minister said this after touring Mukuyu ZCS farm in Kabwe as part of his familiarization tour of departments under his charge to appreciate the challenges they are facing. He also commended the joint venture between Egypt and Zambia on Mukuyu farm in Kabwe and Mwempeshi, respectively, as the partnership has improved the yield on the two farms. And Mukuyu Farm Assistant Manager Ruben Mwango mentioned that the farm has 300 hectares and that 50 hectares of seed maize has been cultivated. Mr. Mwango explained that the farm has 6 center pivots which are fully operational.
I'm particularly impressed with this Mukuyu farm, which is a joint venture between the government of Zambia and the government of Egypt. This is as it should be when you enter into a joint venture. The production from that facility must be seen by all people of the two countries. I'm particularly impressed with the seed maize which you are growing here, including soybeans. Because there's more money in seed production than ordinary crops which you sell on the open market. I would encourage that in future, if possible, for this farm, maybe you just concentrate on seed maize or in the soybeans. You will make more money. And once you make more money, it will be beneficial for the other farms which we are trying to develop. Zambia Correctional Service has a lot of land. Some of it is not developed as yet. If we make more money, we'll be able to develop the other farms. So I would like to encourage you for the works you have done. It's very impressive. I have no doubt in my mind that with this production which you are going to have this year, you will be making higher heights for the future. So please, let's keep it up. It's good for the country.
The farm is 300 hectares under irrigation, and this year we have cultivated 50 hectares of seed maize and 100 hectares of seed for soybeans and 170 hectares of commercial soybeans. So all the center pivots, it has got 6 center pivots, and all the center pivots are in operation. The winter crop that we're planning to grow is wheat.
In other news, about 6,000 women of reproductive age in Choma district have been empowered with financial management skills under the Savings for Change initiative. The initiative is being implemented by the Ministry of Community Development and Social Services under the Scaling Up Nutrition Program in the district. Runia Sakala caught up with some beneficiaries at Sibanyati Ward who shared testimonies of how the program is helping boost their household income.
Financial literacy plays an important role in economic stability. Hence, sufficient knowledge on financial management has the potential to improve one's income. These women at Sibanyati Ward in Choma district are a good example, as they have been able to grow their own money through savings and lending groups after being empowered with financial management skills. This has not only boosted their household income but also improved their nutrition status. The Ministry of Community Development and Social Services has trained about 6,000 women of reproductive age in Choma in financial management under the Savings for Change initiative through the Scaling Up Nutrition Program.
So under Scaling Up Nutrition Phase 2, we have about 6,000 plus women of reproductive age who are into savings groups. So they grow money together by borrowing and saving. The objective is to create wealth among the savings groups at household level using their own resources. Gone are the days when a woman would just sit idle and wait for the husband to provide everything for the family. At least this time women are helping out their husbands to look after the family.
Runia Sakala, Zanies, in Choma district, Southern Province.
Farmers in some parts of Mambo district have called on the government to come to their aid as hippos are terrorizing and grazing their crop fields. Belita Sakala, a farmer of Chilemba village in Kakumbi chiefdom, says wildlife, especially hippos, have grazed many crops in the area. Here is a report.
As many residents of Mambo district are still trying to cope with floods that have swept away crop fields and left others homeless, their distress is being made worse by wild animals that are grazing the few crops left in the fields. The situation is leaving the families completely at the mercy of government relief, as they are losing even the few crops that they thought would sustain them before the next farming season. Belita Sakala is a farmer from Kakumbi chiefdom, and she laments the predicament she and other farmers are facing.
Nyama zativuta ngako mvuu na nzovu ndiye nyama zavuta, especially mvuu zavuta chendi. Paliye munda usapitamo mvuu ni vikulu vitonga ni vinyandi vose mvuu kupampula vitonga utangani muntu pampula koma ni mvuu. Mba paliye chicho sitinga chite shwa ulimi ndiye mtu pezera vintu nyingi kupuzisha abana kupeza ko vintu vyakine kulya. So ngati vinyama vutivuta muliye muli mose mtinga chitire kuti tithandizike seti na bana. Nsala nyinji ngawo mafamazi munga kwalomba kulia hata kana kuti tikakole vitonga muno mwasu Yosefe Vagi Kakumbi chifidomu kulibiretu mvuzi kulya kufika na pamulyango so zandaula chendi ku government mtiganizileko se bantu tavutika chifwa cha vinyama nyama zativuta ngako mvu.
Malambo constituency member of parliament Peter Piri took time to assess the extent of the damage caused to the crops by wildlife.
This is one of the maize cobs which is being damaged by the hippos. Where we are standing, the hippos have completely destroyed the field. I don't even think the owners will have anything for a grab. After we do the assessments, then we'll come up with a report with the wildlife people so that we can submit to the ministry and see the way forward on how best we can assist our farmers around this area.
Theo Makunda reporting for Zanis in Mambo district, Eastern Province.
And lastly, in our news, government has reaffirmed its commitment to continue partnering with the private sector in the provision of quality education. Kasama District Commissioner Elizabeth Goma made the assurance when she graced the 7th graduation ceremony for the 2021 intake of primary and secondary teachers at Northern College in Kasama. Take a look at this report.
It was a joyous moment for graduates and their parents who have waited since 2021 to get their diplomas in education. This was at the 7th graduation ceremony for the 2021 intake of the former Northern College of Education in Kasama District. And student representative Ngosa Mtale has a passionate appeal to the government.
I wish to appeal to our listening governments to increase the number of teachers to be recruited so as to reduce a number of trained teachers on the streets.
Kasama District Commissioner Elizabeth Goma graced the ceremony.
It is my government's desire to recruit more and more teachers on the streets for Zambia. It is hoped that a few years later, there will be demand for teachers and colleges who again recruit large numbers of students. My hope is that when time comes, Northern College will again begin to train teachers.
And Northern College of Education Board Chairperson Donald Kalebuka and Principal Margaret Perry shared their concerns.
To you students, as someone has said that one time you'll be given a school, you'll be posted anywhere within the Republic of Zambia. It is you to go and work hard. When you work hard, you will even make your future better.
We closed this college because of the previous government which was not supporting us. It was not deploying teachers, so other people looked down on teachers. So because of that, we had no students, so we have closed the college. I wish the new government came earlier. Would have been there.
The college, which was operating in Kasama, closed its school last year due to poor enrollment of students. Reporting for Zanis, Namsokwe Bwembia.
That item brings us to the end of the news, but before we go, a recap on the top stories. President Hakainde Hichilema attends AU Summit. Progress with projects in Luampa Chia Western Province Administration. Government pays 460 million to pensioners. That is the news. Thank you so much for watching. On behalf of the entire production team, my name is Amos Zulu. Bye-bye.